What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me today for your daily horoscope. This is Brian here with Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. If it's your first time to the channel, please do subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. I do these daily, so hope you enjoy. I also do weekly for all 12 signs. So, jumping right in. It is Monday, July 13th, 2020 at 11:44 on the West Coast is what this chart's for. So, yeah, it's happening. We have the sun at 21 degrees, approaching 22 degrees today, which is going to start the opposition gauntlet to all the Capricorn energy to Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. So, as we're approaching this opposition with Jupiter first, it's about how can we expand our emotions in a world that's, well, kind of restrictive right now? Jupiter has his hands tied behind his back in Capricorn, where he's at fall position. He's already in the house he dislikes the most, and he's there with the owner of the house, Saturn, who's just been calling the shots and is, and then Pluto's there too, just scraping this sign clean. So it's this big opposition for all of this next week. It's about how can we expand our emotions and be strong in our own emotional foundation in a structure that's constantly changing and almost feels like it's restricting you one way or one way or another, and whatever that means on a personal basis to you. But that could be anything from just like going to a grocery store and wearing a mask, whether you like to wear masks or not. That's a change in life that I don't think anybody could have predicted, but it's part of the world these days. And we still gotta be comfortable and strong in our emotions and let ourselves shine through anything that tries to keep us too restricted. And there's going to be a lot of things trying to keep us restricted with these oppositions. This is a harder aspect. And it's about embracing change too as we come up on Pluto, tomorrow and into the tomorrow night. It's about it being able to roll with the punches emotionally and still be able to let your light shine. And it's definitely a roll with the punch kind of vibe right now. We do have our moon here, which is squaring Saturn this morning when it's at 29 degrees of Aries. So we're making this is a heavy degree. 29 degrees, very edgy, and Saturn's like, what's going on here? Like back in Capricorn from his little vacation in Aquarius, and he's like trying to like lay the law down, if you will. Like, Jupiter, what are you doing here? Pluto, what are you guys doing here in my house? Like, dang, like I left for 3 months and this is what happened. All these crazy changes. So Saturn's trying to lay down the law, and the moon being at that 29th degree, and where we're at right now is like, we got to get stuff done for ourselves. Capricorn and Aries only really get along when they're getting something done and when they're doing something, and when they're trying to get something done that's like not only beneficial to ourselves as an individual, but beneficial just to like where we're going in life. Like, we got to go to that next level, and that next level emotionally. And we just came off that big 3/4 square to the sun yesterday on Sunday, where it was really about getting our emotional identity straight and being comfortable and secure in our emotions and our foundation, and being able to use that to take us to wherever we need to go, to our goals, to what's going to make us get to the top in life. And there's this big change in like what is the top even. There's a lot of questions to be asked, and that's that North Node in Gemini. There's still so many questions, and it just moved off that 29th degree, which it was there from May 5th until Friday. So, it's been a long time on that edgy degree. So things are starting to move, and I think we just got to continue to be very curious for the next 15 months. And this was a big step Sunday and today about, taking the action on your identity and who you are, and evolving and kind of like letting your identity shift into this new avatar that is your personal emotional body in this life. So yeah, it's definitely a heavy feeling this morning. It can feel very restrictive, like you can't push your identity out the way you want it to, like there's something holding you back. But in the end, I mean, what really is holding you back? Is it just a job? Is it just family? It could be anything, but it's all perspective, and you can push through anything. And I think, the moon is coming into Taurus at 11 o'clock Pacific. So what is that? 2 o'clock on the East Coast if you're in America. So again, we're coming off that hard square from Saturn with with the 3/4 square to Jupiter and Pluto and the Sun, and now we get to come into where the moon's exalted today. So it's kind of this split day where in the morning we're like, oh man, like what is this holding us back? But as the day moves on, we come into Taurus where the moon's exalted, and it's really about just feeling good and feeling comfortable within yourself and doing what really brings your self value. Like we're doing a lot of self-worth work right now, with Chiron retrograde, and we have Mars right on top of that today. So I mean, it's all about pushing forward and having the courage to do the healing within and to feel comfortable within yourself. It's just we can do it. You just got to feel good and not let things outside of yourself hold you back from feeling good. You can be very strong, and I think that's what Mars is trying to say in Aries too. Is like, you got to be a warrior within yourself and for your identity, and go for your truth. And it is still making a sextile to Venus, who's going to start running away from Mars. Typical girl running away from the boy. But there is still that sextile there, which is still reminding us to, be curious and see the beauty in the curiosity of life, and to not get so stuck on one thing. Like, just because you valued something a year ago or 2 years ago, if it's not bringing you happiness now and not bringing you comfort now, like, what's the point? We're ever evolving humans and ever evolving creatures on this planet. So yeah, fun stuff. Well, we do have Mercury direct now, and still stationed, but about to start picking up the pace, which means we're going to get another Mercury square Mars and square Chiron. So that's going to start coming up and start building up again as this week progresses. So it's definitely one of those days today where you can feel very restrictive in the morning and feel like there's something holding you back from your truth, your true identity. And what is that? Is it the structure that we have been programmed and raised in that doesn't really seem like it's working anymore? I think a lot of people feel like it's time that kind of gets changed. And if you look at the astrology, the very macro sine wave of everything, it simply is that time. Pluto, Jupiter, and Capricorn doesn't just happen every year. So this is like generations and centuries in the making for a huge shift, and we're all part of that. And yeah, as Jupiter keeps moving backwards and Pluto as well, like they're making this great aspect to Neptune, and that's just going to stick around. And anyways, and get even stronger. So it's this big build up to just trust in the unknown and like make life your dream almost. Like why focus so much on the physical right now when the physical is just so wishy-washy and nobody knows where it's gonna go? It's still in the process of its transformation. So why try and predict that so much instead of just roll with the punches and just see the beauty in life? Because there is still a beauty in life. It's just a matter of if you want to tap into that frequency and see it. And I think Neptune's doing a great job of reminding us of that in these times. So it's definitely a day to be curious and try not to get held back. Try to do what really feels good for you today, no matter what that may be. That moon coming into Taurus this afternoon is going to really it's still going to be breaking off Saturn, but that's going to be, diminishing, and it's time to feel good and go with that. Go with what feels good in life, And then the moon's going to start coming up on Uranus for tomorrow and into late this evening. Mainly tomorrow, early tomorrow morning. So yeah, there's something about taking our emotions to the next level and taking our comfort within ourselves and our values of ourselves to the next level today. So don't get held back too early, because throughout the day it does kind of start to feel a little bit better if you did have a rough morning. And yeah, that's pretty much the energy for today. Um, Hope you guys all had a great weekend. I already shuffled this, but again, I'll throw one more shuffle on it, one more cut. Let's see what the card is for today. Oh, the Four of Wands, upright. Yeah, we gotta nurture ourselves. We gotta nurture each other. We gotta be willing to. I think we just gotta be able to be willing to put action towards being gentle with what we're going through and being gentle with what other people are going through. You know, there can be a lot to say about just understanding we're all going through this, like Chiron in Aries, right? And Mars is right on top of it, and he's trying to really push Chiron to be like, hey, like, the card aside for a second, back to the astrology. Chiron's a warrior too. You know, he's the wounded healer, but he is a warrior, and Mars is the god of war. Mars is saying, "Come on, Chiron, like you gotta figure out these wounds that you have." And this is talking to us so that we can go ahead and like move forward and keep charging with our new identity, and with, even if it's not a new identity, the identity that we are that serves our highest purpose, our destiny identity. And we got to drop the stuff that doesn't serve us anymore. Feel it, deal with it, move on. Like, it's in the past. And Mars is trying to get Chiron on his team because he needs all the help he can get right now. He's going up against a lot. And really, yeah. Anyways, back to this. It's about that too. It's about that drive to heal ourselves and help others heal, and just be accepting and nurturing to everybody. And, you know, it's time to love each other. We have to love ourselves first. You can't just start loving people without loving yourself. So, yeah, you know, be gentle with yourself today. Don't get held back by time. Don't let time stop you from being the best you can be. Don't let the structure of whatever, you know, hold you back. Like, if you don't want to do something, I feel like there's huge healing in just stepping up and saying, I don't want to do that. It doesn't serve me, and just moving forward, which is scary for some people, but there's a lot to that. So that's part of the message today too. All right, I love you all very much, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.